Greetings, good people of planet Earth and elsewhere. Welcome back to the show. If you're new here, this is Raw Talk, and if you've been here before, you already know I'm Raw. So today we're continuing our parenting series, Perspectives on Parenting. I'm not here to tell anybody how to parent their children, just sharing my opinions on what I think is right or wrong in regards to parenting. But today we're talking about unpacking trauma, and this is more geared towards, I'd probably say, teenagers, adults, because a lot of times we keep things bottled in, and it's never really good to do. It's good to talk about it, get it out, get it off your chest, because if you're carrying around this weight, eventually it's going to start holding you back. One day it's going to get too heavy to carry, and it's no good for you in the long run. So, and this is kind of an interesting topic because trauma can come in a lot of different ways, a lot of different forms and fashions. And sometimes we don't recognize the trauma until it starts affecting our adult life. Or sometimes our own defense mechanisms kind of block certain memories out. And it only takes one trigger for it all to come back. So, regardless of when it happened or how it happened, if it's affecting your life, then bring it up, talk about it. Of course, assuming that's okay and safe to do. Sometimes you have to pick your battles, and depending on your parents, like we talked about in the last episode, if you don't have that foundation of mutual respect, it's really hard to have those conversations. But at the end of the day, the trauma is your problem. How the inflictor of pain and trauma feels about it isn't your problem. So we're trying to better ourselves and get ourselves into a better position mentally to progress through and handle life. So bring it up, talk about it, however you feel that's comfortable for you, whether it's a lunch or a dinner or grabbing some coffee, or if you're comfortable, sitting in someone's house and having that conversation. Sometimes you have to consider home field advantage too. It's definitely a very real thing. You're in somebody else's space and it can be uncomfortable. So sometimes, at least for me, I don't like having those conversations at people's houses. And like I said, pick your battles too. You don't have to bring up every single little thing that made you feel any type of way growing up. But there's some things in particular with my parents that I would never bring back up to them because one, it was a long time ago. It's not directly affecting my life now. Is it a terrible memory? It's a very terrible memory. But what we also have to consider, and this is what I was talking about in the previous video about dealing with things with some grace, that person that did that to you may not be the person you're talking to today, right? Because especially if we're talking 15, 20 plus years ago, and, our parents were just like us. They're young people too, and trying to figure things out, and maybe didn't have all the resources that we have now. Just in general, the internet and social media and stuff, we're constantly confronted and bombarded with new ideas, and have other people's lives as examples too that we're watching every day. So I definitely say we have more resources now than they did. Again, it doesn't excuse it, but definitely keep that in mind in considering what you want to talk about, what you don't want to talk about, and what you actually need to heal from. And you don't have to attack anybody. You don't have to be rude or mean about it just because it hurt you all those years ago. But also be very clear with your expectations too. If you need closure, if what you really need is acknowledgement or an apology, if that's what's going to make you feel better and help you move past this trauma, then make that very clear too. This is what I need from you, mother, or from you, father, or from you, brother, sister, whoever it is. And then put the ball in their court. I'm telling you what I need to heal right now, and either you're going to look past your your own ego and your own arrogance and be able to help me, whoever I am to you, or you're not. You're not going to care. And you may just blow it off and just say, fuck it. I don't know. But at least you're putting the ball in their court and they do respond in that negative way, then I would consider that my closure. Okay. I don't need anything else from you. If that's the way you feel about it, if you can't look past yourself for a second to help me, then there doesn't need to be any more conversation. That's just the way I look at it. But I did what I could. I brought it to your attention and you let me know how you feel. So that's unpacking trauma through my eyes. It's good to do. It could potentially help better the relationships that you have now and weed out any animosity that may be just lingering around. That's what we're about. We're about positivity and bettering ourselves as human beings, and that's the whole point of this journey we are on together. So, and parents out there, if you don't do it for you, do it for your kids, because you don't want those things leaking out into the relationships that you have with your own children, and you inadvertently causing them the same trauma that you took on as a child, as a teenager, whenever it was. So anything, do it for your kids to give them a better experience than you had. So it's Friday. Hope you guys had a good week. But regardless, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, share the show, because it helps. So do the things. And with that, we'll see you guys on Monday. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourself and take care of business. Raw out.